BookTube, it's Missy, and today I'm here to give you guys my most anticipated reads for April. So I do have them this time around in publication order, so it's not going to be all over the place, hopefully. I only have 3 YA books for April, and then I have 9 for adults. So this should be a quick video. I apologize for it getting out late, but all of these books are only barely just out. So not all, some of these books are just barely out. There we go. I want to make sure you guys have room for the picture. I also have my camera farther back this time than right up in my face, so let me know how you like seeing more of the background and more of me in general than when I used to be like up here. Let me know. I feel like I'm too far away, but I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is for my YA books, and that one is House of Hollow. I mean, look at this cover. It is freaking gorgeous. I normally don't like book covers with faces on them, but because it's very artistic with the flowers, it's so pretty. This is by Crystal Sutherland. It's 352 pages. I'm going to continue talking about page count all this year. So if you like that, let me know down below. It came out on the 6th of April. This is a fantasy horror book, and it's about 3 sisters that go missing. Now, when they come back from being missing, it doesn't say, well, the oldest goes missing, but something happened to the 3 of them when they were little, and so since then the girls have been very strange, according to like the rest of the town. They always thought they were a little weird. So when the oldest one goes missing, the middle and younger sister want to figure out what happened. But that just the whole like it had to do with them as a whole. You know what I mean? I have 2 sisters. I'm the oldest, so when it comes to sisters, I like reading books with the sisters in them. That's not a very good explanation of what this book is about, but I tend to cut off my reading when I'm looking at synopsises so I don't get spoiled, because there's a lot of books that get spoiled just by the synopsis alone. And so I know it's about sisters, I know the oldest is missing, and I know something happened when they were little, and now they're all weird about it. Alright, number 2 is Pride and Premeditation. I love me a title that is with alliteration, same letters. And I also love retellings of Pride and Prejudice. I love retellings of Edgar Allan Poe. I love retellings of Alice in Wonderland. Those are my 3 favorite books or authors or stories of all time. And so when they are classics, when they are retold in a different way, it always makes me happy. So this Pride and Premeditation is by Tirzah, I think. Tirzah Price. This is 368 pages. It also came out on the 6th, and it's a mystery crime retelling, as you can see the premeditation part of Pride and Prejudice. So I'm looking forward to it because that sounds phenomenal. And then the last book for the YA books that come out in April is called Book Nerd. This is a graphic novel, and I'm putting it last as like the transition into the adult books because it doesn't say whether or not it's for YA or for adult. It's for readers of all ages, I am assuming. It's 112 pages. It's written by Holly Maguire, and it comes out on the 13th of April. So Monday, I think, is the 13th. And it's all about books and book nerds. And so that just seems like a fun a table book, a book to put on a shelf that, you know, guests will be able to read, something to, you know, skim through. I really like it. I want it, and I probably am going to buy it soon. So, yes, that's the end of the YA books. On to the adult. The first one I have is Lies We Bury, and this is by L. Marr. It's 304 pages. This one actually came out on the 1st of April. It's a mystery thriller, and it's about a boy, I think. No, a girl. The girl is born in captivity, so her mother was abducted, I believe, and then she was born kind of like Room, maybe. She was born in captivity, but then she is found at 7. Okay, and now we're following her 20 years later. So she's now 27, and she has a job as a photographer, and I don't know if she works for a magazine or a newspaper or why she has to go back to the town that she was born into, but she photographs what she believes is the house that she was found in, and she wants to find out more. So this is her story of rediscovering like childhood trauma and then dealing with it, and maybe like catching the person who did it. I'm not sure, but that sounds interesting. Number 2 is First Person Singular. That's the title, First Person Singular. And this is, or it's got colons and it says stories, which is weird. But this is by Haruki Murakami. It's 256 pages. It came out on the 6th. It's 8 short stories. I really liked his Strange Library. That's the only book I've read by Murakami. But I thought that book was telling on his writing. It was very weird and kind of like fairy tale-esque, but also horror-based and dark. And so I'm looking forward to these 8 short stories. The next book is called The Dictionary of Lost Words, and this is by Pip Williams. This is one of my most anticipated out of the adult books. It also came out on the 6th, and the reason why I'm so interested in this book is because it's a historical fiction book about books. So there are these people that are creating the dictionary, and instead of it just being like standard writing words in a dictionary and giving it a definition, once you've collected a word, it is now gone from wherever it was from and then put into the dictionary. So the main character is pulling together the first dictionary by stealing these words. And so, not metaphorically, I think she's actually stealing these words and placing them into the dictionary, which just sounds so fun, right? I love books about books, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. And then we have The Drowning Kind. This is by Jennifer McMahon. I've read 2 of her books. I've read the Sister Night and also Winter something. I don't know. I really like her writing style. She's always, well, the 2 books that I've read, they're both set in Vermont. Yeah, this one is also set in Vermont. That's where the author is from. She also writes in dual POVs and dual timelines. So you get to see other people's points of view along with flashbacks and so forth. So it's a very immersive read. You really have to pay attention to what's happening. This is a horror mystery thriller about twin sisters, and one of them dies while researching family, or now the other sister wants to research her family. I can't remember. But the other timeline is about history of the town and a wishing water, wishing well, wishing river. Again, it's like Tuck Everlasting, I think, is a movie that I watched way back when, where a family finds a tree that has like a puddle of water in front of it that always is full, and if you drink from that water, then you have everlasting life and you live forever. So I'm wondering how this wishing water river thing works and what happened to the sister. Like I said, Jennifer McMahon usually writes with a ghostly kind of, or monster-esque portion to it. So I know this is going to be supernatural or paranormal, and it's also going to be good because I like her writing. All right, number 5 is When the Stars Go Dark. This is by Paula McLean. It's 384 pages. It comes out on Monday the 13th, and this is a mystery thriller. We are following a detective that goes back to her hometown of Mendocino. I think that's the way you say it. And missing girls start popping up. So there's that. A lot of the books that I've put on my list so far this year have been women detectives. I'm really happy they're going that route. Not that I don't like reading about men detectives, but I like women detectives because they have a different way of looking at things. Like most jobs, women and men do them differently. And so I like that. I like that. All right. Now, I have number 6. Number 6. This is called Near the Bone. This is another book by Christina Henry. I love Christina Henry. She also came out with Ghost Tree last year, I think. And then, of course, all of the retellings of fairy tales. I have the Mermaid right here, but I've also read an Alice retelling. Then there's Red Queen, and there is a Peter Pan retelling, and something else, Pinocchio, I think. I love the way this woman writes. It is definitely for adults, but it's very horror based. So this one is a horror thriller. Did I say it comes out on Monday the 13th? If not, it comes out Monday the 13th. It's 336 pages, and it's about mountain monsters, which kind of made me think of, what's her face? Ania Alborn, because I just read a book by her about mountain monsters. And so I'm definitely looking forward to this one. It says Maddie is trapped on the mountain. So I don't even care. If it's Christina Henry, I want to read it. And so I'm going to. That sounds good. The next book I have is The Helm of Midnight by Marina Lostelter. Maybe it's 2 T's. Lostetter. This is book 1. And it's 464 pages, so it's kind of a chunker. It also comes out on Monday the 13th, and it is a horror sci-fi fantasy. Death Mask of Louis Charbon, which is a monstrous serial killer. If you guys don't know what a death mask is, it's just a, when someone dies, they take, the the clay or whatever, they make a mask, a head mask of the person, and then they display it. That's what a death mask is. So there is a death mask of this monstrous serial killer from the past, and somehow the monster, this serial killer, has been awakened from death and is once more killing from beyond the grave. That sounds good. If you have read Libba Bray's Diviners, that's also kind of the back story of the first book. It's not a death mask, but we do follow a ghostly murderer from the grave, like a serial killer from the grave. And so Helm of Midnight seems delicious. I can't wait to read it. I hope it is as exciting as I am anticipating. The next book I have on my list is the Next Everest, Surviving the Mountain's Deadliest Day and Finding the Resilience to Climb Again by Jim Davidson. Now this is 416 pages and it comes out on the 20th of April. As you guys know, I have to have my nonfiction in with all of my most anticipated reads, and so that's the only nonfiction that I have on my list for this month. It's about, well, it's a memoir of Jim Davidson's trip to Everest. In 2015, there was a 9.8 scale earthquake that happened in Nepal that affected Mount Everest. And he was stuck there because of avalanches on both sides. Their path was taken away. And so him and a couple of other people had to survive on the mountain for like 3 days before the weather was clear enough for helicopters to rescue them. And so this is his story about overcoming the fear of being stuck on that mountain and doing it again. And so that sounds interesting. And I'm really interested in climbing mountains, anything to do with hiking, camping, nature, woods, trees, mountains. I like all that kind of stuff. So by the way, if you have Netflix and you have not read or watched Alone, you have to watch Alone on Netflix. They only have season 6, so it's just one season, but it's 10 people who are all survivalists, so they have the ability to like build a shelter and find food and so forth. But all of these contestants are placed in around water in the Arctic. So high in Canada, they're near a water source so they can fish if they need to, but they're also inland a little bit where they can, you know, catch rabbits or what have you. Now, the goal is to outlast everybody else. Whoever's the last one standing, the last person who is still out in nature wins $500,000. I want to own this season just so I can rewatch it over and over again because Netflix likes to take things away a lot. And Jordan's my favorite character, the Moose Man. Please tell me down below in the comments if you know who I'm talking about and how amazing this man is. Anywho, last book that I want to talk about is called When a Stranger Comes to Town. This is by Michael Koryata, maybe? It's 400 pages. It also comes out on April 20th. And this is an anthology about strangers. Stranger danger. Can't wait to read this. Michael Connolly writes for it. Dean Koontz writes in this anthology, and there's also Joe Hill that has a story in this book, When a Stranger Comes to Town. Strangers freak me out and scare me, and so yeah, definitely looking forward to all of these books. Let me know down below if I have missed anything. I know sometimes books pop up and I'm like, darn, I wish I would have told, you guys about them. So if you guys know any books that are coming out in April that I've missed, please put them down below and let me know if these are also on your radar and you're looking forward to reading them as well. And that is it. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Hopefully I post this video tomorrow. And I also hope you guys have a good rest of next week as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching.